upon the worst popes in history was Pope Benedict IX. He was pope 3 times because each time he wasn't wanted. He, however, kept wanting to be pope and forced himself back in. He ascended to the papacy at 20 years old, which was remarkably young. He was the son of a count of Rome, and 2 of his ancestors were in fact also on the list of the worst popes in history, Sergius III and John XII. So whatever was in their blood remained in this man. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Here on Mortal Faces, I recreate historic figures to see how they might have looked in real life. So thank you for watching, subscribe for more recreations, let me know in the comments who you want to see next. Life was great for a wealthy boy of noble birth in medieval Rome. His papal reign began with his wonderful father bribing the Romans to give him the papal chair. Indeed they did, and his life began as soon as his young adulthood also began. He was Pope, the all-powerful man in charge of the Catholic Church. Well, this is what they said about him. It seemed as if a demon from the underworld, in the disguise of a priest, occupied the chair of Peter and profaned the sacred mysteries of religion by his insolent courses. He was a disgrace to the chair of Peter, and Pope Victor III in 1087 wrote, "His rapes, murders, and other unspeakable acts of violence and sodomy. His life as a pope was so vile, so foul, so execrable, that I shudder to think of it." Indeed, his first reign was marred by scandal and ongoing factional strife. But Rome wanted to give him 2 more chances, so after being ousted in 1036 when he was 24, his family, no doubt, helped him get back in, with, of course, the emperor's support. But 8 more years in charge, and he didn't change. He was accused of numerous adulteries, murders, routine sodomy, bestiality, and organizing orgies. He was ousted again in 1044, and this time they said, "We're getting a new pope." And this was Sylvester III. Benedict, oh, he was mad. He didn't want the papacy, he wanted power, and with his giant ego said, "No one will replace me," and he came back in April with a force large enough to expel Sylvester. No one supported Sylvester anyways. He kinda sucked at the role, and Benedict was now allowed to be pope again. But he doubted himself and thought about starting a family with his cousin. So he said to his uncle the priest, "Pay me off, and it's yours," which he did. The new pope was his uncle Gregory VI. However, Sylvester, now having had some time to think about it, said, "No, I want it fair and square. I want the papacy back." And then he came back and he challenged Gregory. Benedict also marched back after failing to get married and plopped himself back on the throne, even though Gregory was still the official pope. The emperor had to intervene. Everybody was too stubborn, and he traveled all the way to Rome from Saxony. The Council of Sutri commenced that Benedict was unfit, Sylvester was unfit, and Gregory was accused of buying a church office and was persuaded to resign. Clement II became the new pope. He was German, and Henry III thought a change might do the trick. Benedict's bounce back was like his libido, and when Clement died a year later in 1047, he took control of the Lateran Palace, which was the main papal residence. The Germans, now in control, said no, and they ousted him in 1048 and put another German man as pope. He was Damasus II. Benedict was now furious. He was outraged. He refused the outcome. He banged and screamed and had a huge tantrum. So the Germans had no choice but to excommunicate him. In time out, he knew he was defeated, and it appears he did relinquish the papacy once and for all after he calmed down. He lived for 8 more years, dying in 1056, only about 44 years old. They say he did show remorse in the quieter life that he lived. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Lots more on my channel. Subscribe for more. Each of your subscriptions does help this channel grow. It allows me to continue making more content for you. Let me know in the comments who you want to see next. I do make a list of all your suggestions, and I will see you in the next one.